Hello folks, welcome back to my channel. I am on board a fast ferry boat that just left from Serangoon Harbour in South Bali. Today I am traveling to Gili Islands, about 100 kilometers off Bali on the Lombok Sea. Gili Islands is an archipelago of 3 tiny islands, namely Gili Trawangan, Gili Meno and Gili Islands, which are northwest of Lombok in the West Nusa Tenggara province. The distance from Bali to Gili is little over 100 kilometers, and these fast boats cover that distance in approximately 2.5 hours, of course depending on the weather. You can now see Gunung Agung or Mount Agung, the tallest and the most active volcano in Bali. Being a big volcano fan, I always enjoyed the view of majestic Agung towering over eastern Bali. As the sea has calmed down, I decided to come to the top deck to have a good view. As the tourist traveling between Bali and Gili has of late increased manifolds, new companies have started operating ultra-modern high-speed ferries. This is a Ekachaya 21 ferry boat that has a capacity of 250 passengers and can attain a speed of 25 knots per hour. One can see the eastern end of Bali Island, which has a mountainous terrain, and that includes Mount Agung, the most sacred mountain for Balinese Hindus. Unlike in the beginning of this trip, the sea has become really calm, and it's a pleasure to sit on the upper deck enjoying the 360-degree view. Lombok Sea is highly unpredictable, and often the ride is very choppy, especially in smaller boats. I remember my first trip to Gili in 2016, when I had heart in my mouth every time a huge wave swept off the deck. This time I am traveling with my daughter, her friends and a couple of families. The first sight of Gili Islands. The island with a small hillock on one side is the Gili Trawangan. As I already told you, Gili Islands are really tiny, and the biggest Gili Trawangan is about 3 kilometers long and 2 kilometers wide. It has a population of about 1,500, and Gili Island, the next biggest, has a population of 1,800, and Meno, the smallest, about 500. We just deboarded from the boat after a 2.5 hour enjoyable ride. Gili Island lies on Coral Triangle, which is one of the 8 major coral reef zones in the world. Coral Triangle is known as Amazon of the seas and covers an area of 5.7 million square kilometers. Gili T has just one sandy road that circumferences the whole island. There are no motorized transport on any of the 3 islands. Cycles and horse-drawn carriages are the only means of transport in the islands. One can cover the whole island on foot in just few hours, enjoying the white sandy beaches. Among all the 3 islands, Gili Trawangan has the best facilities for tourists, with maximum number of hotels, resorts, guest houses and restaurants. The name Trawangan has been derived from the Indonesian word Terawongan, which means tunnel. The hillock at the western side of the island had a cave tunnel built there by the Japanese army during the World War II. Japanese had an anti-aircraft artillery base on the hillock. During the period, they used the island as a lookout post and prisoner of war camp. Permanent settlement in the island only began in the 1970s, mainly due to the lack of freshwater sources. In the 1980s, the islands started to be discovered by backpacker tourists. This was influenced by the exponential rise in tourism in neighboring Bali. Gili Trawangan gained a reputation from late 1980s to late 1990s as a party island. The local pub, Meno, claims that Trawangan is the smallest island in the world with an Irish pub. There is a night market where the locals run small warungs that sells freshly cooked seafood delicacies. The sun rising behind Mount Rinjani in Lombok is a beautiful view. Mount Rinjani is the second tallest volcano in Indonesia. I am having my breakfast and this is the view from my restaurant. We have rented out a boat to take us to the Gili Meno. Gili Meno is the central island of the three. The island attracts fewer tourists than the other two and is the quietest and the smallest. However, honeymooners are often drawn to the crystal clear water and idyllic settings. Gili Meno is the least crowded compared to the other two and has a more cleaner beaches all around the island. Meno has a sea turtle breeding center too. The public ferry from Meno to Trawangan has just announced the departure. Our day at Meno is coming to an end.